about today. I said I'll focus on two things today: different types of abuse, and then why it happens. What are the causes? Okay, why does it happen? Why? All right. So very quickly, don't forget we defined relationship abuse or domestic abuse as patterns of behavior. All right, go with me slowly. Patterns of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain and maintain power and control over a partner. Let me say it again. Patterns in any relationship, and these patterns are used to gain or maintain, or gain and maintain power and control over a partner in a relationship. Now, why is this wrong? Because no human being deserves to be abused. And like I emphasized last week, when God made mankind and gave the dominion mandate to mankind, he gave it to male and female alike. He didn't give it to any particular species. He didn't say to the male that you are to have dominion, and then to the female that you are not to have dominion. No, he spoke to male and female alike and said, go have dominion over everything I've created. And I emphasized that the dominion mandate was over all of God's creation, not human beings, but every other creation, everything created, the trees, the sea, the water, the thing, the what do you call it now? The land and sea animals, all right, whatever it is, plants, every other thing that God created, but not fellow humans, not fellow humans. And that is why it is wrong to oppress a fellow human. That is why it is wrong. All right, because you have the same authority, the same mandate by God, and it is just unfair to treat somebody just like you in a manner that you would not want to be treated in. All right, so no one deserves to be abused. All right, let me just drop a few points before I talk about why it happens. All right, so don't forget that abuse is not only physical. All right, there were times where people thought that it's only an abusive relationship if you're being hit, if you're being beat upon, but it's not just physical. All right, I'm going to share different types in just a moment. All right, so it's not just physical, it's emotional, it's sexual, it's financial. There are so many ways it happens. All right, now you need to also know that if you're in an abusive relationship, that's not the end of the road for you. All right, there is help available. You need to open up yourself to learning. You need to open up yourself to support and help, so that you can find a way out of it, so that you can be healthy and you can regain your self-esteem and regain all that you have lost in the hands of that abuser. All right, so let me emphasize the following points. One, I already said that no one deserves to be abused, because God gave the dominion mandate to mankind, not to any gender, but to mankind. So you have the dominion mandate upon your life. You have the grace and authority of God to take charge over your world, not to take charge over other human beings. Take note. All right. Now, there are various causes of relationship abuse. Various causes. All right. And I'll talk about them in a bit. There's no one cause. There's no one thing that leads to domestic abuse. There are several possible things. All right. I will touch them in just a moment. Now, this is another point you need to know. Abusive behaviors is a choice by the abuser. It's not acting on impulse. It's not, whenever I'm in that mood, something just takes over. It's a lie. There's nothing that takes over nothing. All right? It's a choice by the abuser. And if you know anybody who is going through domestic abuse and you say, but he's a nice person, it's just that something comes over him. Or she's very nice. It's just that at a point, it's like I heard you just talk. Listen, it is a choice. They know what they are doing and they enjoy what they are doing. All right, so don't think that there's something that's uncontrollable that is influencing from outside. No, it's a choice. They know what they're doing. It's that bad. All right. Now, irrespective, the final point before I go into the types of abuse, irrespective of all the effort you put into pleasing your partner, take note, you cannot stop their abusive behavior. It is who they are. It's not you who will stop it. It's they who would learn, who will decide, all right, to stop it, to be changed persons. And this goes all out to those who believe they are world changers and they are the ones that will change people's lives. Listen, you've not got it in you to change anybody's life. No, you're not. It's not your work. if they do not want. Oh, by the way, this is a lesson I learned. I learned in a hard way again recently. Because for some of us who are life coaches and mentors and stuff like that, you just think that, oh, when you see somebody, oh, let me help you, let me do this for you. But come on, if they don't want to learn, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. All right. So don't think that, oh, if I just behaved better, oh, if I just start coming back early, oh, if I just kneel down to give him food, oh, if I just what are those funny things that people want you to do? Oh, if I can call him sir. Oh, if I can, serve him fresh food every day. Oh, or for the guys, you think, oh, if I can just afford all her needs, like if I always have the money to put out there for her, maybe she will start respecting me. Maybe she will treat me better. Listen, you cannot change the abuser. It's not your work. No matter how you try to please them, all right, that bad behavior will always show. All right. So let me move on to what I said I want to talk about today. I said I was going to share about the different types of abuse. Okay. Of course, the obvious one is physical abuse. And when we speak about physical abuse, we're talking about anything done to the partner directly that causes physical harm, wounds, breaking of bones or something, hitting them, whether you're hitting them, whether you're throwing something at them, any form of physical assault, okay, that impacts on their body, their physical body, that impacts on their fundamental needs like shelter, like food, like sleep, okay, because you see some people, just so that they are not guilty of hitting their partners, they'll do every other thing. They'll deprive you of food. They'll deprive you of, you can't sleep. They'll harass you. They would lock you outside and keep you there begging. Lock you out there in the rain. Lock you out there, under an inconveniencing circumstance because probably you came back late or you did not tell them, So any of those kind of behaviors is also physical. I'm saying also because some of these things, juggle among different kinds of abuse. Some of them are physical and emotional at the same time. Some of them are physical, verbal, and emotional at the same time, because sometimes as they're doing this to you, they are talking down on you, they are destroying your self-image, that is abuse. And I need to emphasize, okay, that it's, when we say these things, people only just think of men as the abusers because, of course, men are the ones who are physically, generally more powerful physically than ladies. So people just think men are the abusers. While men may be more of the physical abusers, we have a lot of ladies who are emotional abusers, who are psychological abusers, who are sexual abusers. We have a lot of them. All right. And I hope that in one of these my sessions, I will speak to certain bad character or certain bad behaviors that young ladies have. I'll speak to it in one of my sessions. All right. Because you see people looking very beautiful out there. Oh, you just see them say, oh, I like this one. When you get close, bad character, they smell. If you don't understand pidgin English, what I'm saying is that there is an unpleasant odor that bad attitude gives. Now, I'm not talking about physical odor, of course, but I'm talking about an unpleasant aura. All right? You experience these people and you want to run for your lives or for your life. Okay? So one day I'll speak about some of these things because the essence of all of this is for people to see themselves, in what I'm saying so that they can become better. Because everyone is focused on praying for, oh God, give me good partner. How do they say that thing? Husband material, wife material. What kind of material are you? What kind of person are you? Do you understand? So when I share these things, what I expect is you're not just listening for your partner, but you're listening for yourself. That's how I like to always put the spotlight on you. So when I share these things, yeah, chummy, they smell. All right, bad character, they smell. Do you understand? So when I share these things, I want you to not just think of other people. I want you to think of yourself. And thank God this is a virtual session. So you are listening from the privacy and comfort of your own environment. It's not a general class. Nobody is seeing you. All right. So just receive the ones that are coming to you as hot strokes. Receive them as hot strokes in the quietness of your solitude. All right. And receive change in your life. Become better. All right. That's just what it is. When you hear these things, don't be picturing another person. Put yourself under the microscope. Put yourself under the spotlight. All right. What kind of person are you? What kind of partner are you going to become? All right. Let me not over push that point. So for physical violence, physical abuse, I beg your pardon. Let me read out some of. Now, if you experience any of these things, it might be signs that you are undergoing physical abuse in your relationship. One, some of your physical needs are being withheld, like food, clothes. You're locked out of the house. It's physical violence. It's physical abuse. Yes, it is. All right. Physical assault, hitting, punching, kicking, throwing things at you. Maybe not throwing things at you, but destroying your properties. Oh, yes, that is part of physical assault. All right. That's part of physical abuse. I beg your pardon. All right. Unwanted rough play. You're telling the person, stop it now, take it easy. And they just go hitting on you, just go doing all of those things that you're scared you could get hurt. How are you playing with the knife like that now? Take it easy. Hey, come on. And this person is just careless unnecessarily. It's physical abuse because it could result in hurt. All right? It could result in hurt. Especially when you have expressed your disapproval to that behavior and the person keeps doing it. All right. Now, there are some things that some people experience. You're having a quarrel with your partner, and you guys have to go out together, and then the person is driving recklessly, just to show anger, driving recklessly, and you could have an accident. Anything could happen to us, but they don't care. They want to just make you uneasy. It's part of abuse. All right. What else? What else do I have there? Okay, I mentioned this somehow, where I said, if there's aggression, not directed directly at you, but directed at other people and things that you care about. So maybe you have pets. Instead of hitting you, they go hit your pet or kill the pet, or your belonging, destroy your TV, smash your phone, burn your clothes. I'm talking about things I've heard and seen. Smash your windscreen. Destroy your side mirror. Those are acts of physical abuse. And if you're experiencing any of these, you need help urgently. All right, don't wait till it gets worse than this. All right, other forms or other types of abuse involve isolation. Now, what happens is that the abuser systematically starts cutting you off of all the important relationships in your life. Suddenly, you can't go see your family members anymore. You can't even talk about them where the person is, where your partner is. You can't even take their call where your partner is. Okay? Your partner is going to be uncomfortable with any of those things. People that are important in your life, they're going to give you very sound reasons why you have to reduce your conversation with them. Sometimes you might not even get any reason. You just tell you, I don't like it. I'm not comfortable. I don't like the way you're talking with this person. You have to stop talking with them. And you think it's a joke, but it's not a joke. Because you would see the kind of problem you're going to get the next time you pick that call. Why is this person still calling you? You have not even picked it. Just as the call is getting into your phone, and you have serious problems. Why are you? Have I not told you that he should never call your phone again? Have I not told you? Why are you? I am wondering, what did this person do to you? Now, what are they trying to do? They are trying to isolate you from the important people in your life. Sometimes from the influential people in your life, from the kind of people that you can call out for help, from the kind of people that you can reach out to for help. They isolate you from all of them. Your family members, parents, siblings, cousins, your best friends, they isolate, cut them out of you. That if they cannot directly manipulate those ones to be on their side, then they remove them from your life. Your pastor, your group leader, they just find a way to remove you from all. In fact, they can tell you, let's change church. All these people in this church, that's how they used to behave. Let's go to another one. He will take you, or she will take you to a place where you don't know anybody, where they are the only friend you have. All right. Now, if I say he or she, all right, just take it that it could be anybody, because sometimes he might naturally come out of my mouth. But please, guys, it's not an attack on you, but just learn. All right. But take note, it could be any gender. Okay. So isolation. If you're being isolated in your relationship, you're being isolated from the important relationships in your life, it is one of the signs that that person, that partner of yours, is tending towards abuse. It's already abusing you. What happens with isolation? With isolation comes control, which is another sign. All right, which is another sign. Control. All right. What the abusers want to do is they want to render you powerless so that you have to depend on them all the way, so that your opinion is nothing where they are, so that you cannot do or say what you think is right to do, but you have to do or say what they want you to do. That's some form of control. So by control, they are eliminating your freedom. You can't make your own choices. You can't speak freely. You can't go about, your business as freely as you could do before you got into that relationship. Now, let me just say this because, it might not be in the line of my conversation. Now, many times, take note of what I'm saying. You don't notice these abusive tendencies at the beginning of the relationship. Many times these people are very sweet at the beginning. They give you everything you need, they're supplying your love need, they're there for you, they're encouraging you, you can make it, that's why I believe in you, come on, let's push, and you're saying to yourself, oh, this one is all that I've been praying for. Don't forget when I spoke about narcissism last month, I told you that when you see those things, please don't be moved so quickly. Because many times some ladies have fallen prey to this kind of guys because they were just blown away by the niceties. He's just a nice guy. He's so pleasant. Wow, he helps me. He's there for me. And then when it becomes a relationship or when they marry you, you start wondering what exactly has changed. Listen, it was always there. But because you were more consumed by the emotional attachment and attraction, you probably did not see those tendencies because those signs are there. Hello, I'm okay. Good evening. You're welcome. All right. Those signs are always there. The signs are always there. Let me go ahead. So I spoke about isolation. They prevent you from seeing close family, friends, influential people in your life, your pastors, social events. Your department in the office is having a get-together. They tell you can't go. Your group in church is having a get-together. You cannot go. Your best friend is getting married. You cannot go. Your old boys or old girls association is having a hangout. You cannot go. And they just cut you off. In some cases, some people go the extreme of even seizing your phone or removing your SIM card, destroying it and getting you a new SIM card that nobody has. Sometimes they start requesting for some of your sensitive documents. They want to have your international passport. They want to have your they want to know the locations or the addresses of the people in the important people in your life. See, listen, certain things are meant to be kept personal and confidential for as much as possible until you get married to that person. They don't have business with some of your very sensitive documents. All right, so some people go that far so that when the need arises for you to move on, suddenly you remember that, oh, he has my passport, oh, I can't travel. And you will beg, you will try every way to get that thing. He's never going to release it. Why? Because he's found a tool of control. These things happen a lot. I mean, there was a story recently of a celebrity who this man came into her life, deceived her, as it were, or whatever the case was, and then made a mess of her, started blackmailing her online. And if you notice, those were some of the things he did. He had access to her confidential information. He had access to her passport. He had access. She couldn't travel. She was almost a hostage in her own house. There will always be signs. Please don't be moved by the niceties. Don't forget, I always say, even traps can come disguised as something beautiful. Those of you who know how to set rat trap, you go and buy fish, especially for rat. So that when the rat comes to chop the fish, the rat will die or the trap will catch the fish. You see? So even some things that appear as beautiful or attractive could also be traps. That is why you must be circumspect. You don't jump in, you don't throw in your emotions too quickly. Your values must be right. For goodness sake, some of you just trip for anything. She's fine, you don't trip. Your heart is inside. I want this one, she must be my friend. Calm down, Oga. Calm down. Or it's for some of the ladies who wants to just say cute guy. You can't rest again. You can't sleep. You see him in your dream. Every night in my dream, I see you. I feel you. That, you just fill your heart with unnecessary imaginations. You want this person at all costs. And at the end of the day, when the heartbreak starts coming, when things start going south, you start blaming every other person, and you fail to look at yourself to say, hey, I missed it. I was indisciplined. I followed after lust. I followed after obsession, after infatuation. Instead of me to wait, I committed my emotions too early. I wanted to get his commitment, so I gave him my body. And at the end of the day, he got your body and you did not get his commitment, because he was never going to give that commitment. But if you had waited just a bit, you may have found it. There are times where many people who are in these abusive relationships or abusive marriages, many times when you engage with them, you would find out they were already sexually involved. In some cases, they were already pregnant and had to get married out of, because they were already pregnant. What if you did not get that involved? What if? And don't forget, we always say it, that one of the ways to see the true quality of a guy who's asking you out is to deny him sex. Deny, no agree at all. Not like let me just wait first 1 month, after 2 months, he has tried. No, at all. It's not on the table, it's not available. And it's not just denying him sex, it's denying him sexual activities, whether it's a touching, whether it's kissing, whether it's all kind of hugging that you're tapping current. No chance. Don't touch me. Do you understand? Because you need to really be convinced of what this person's intent is. Listen, guys will always tell you what they want. I don't know why it's like I'm deviating. A guy will always tell you what he wants. He will always tell you. It's you that will refuse to answer or to hear it or to see it. Guys will always tell you what they want. From day 2 of your conversation, they're already talking about your body. They're already talking about your lips. They're already talking about what they want to do to you. They're already telling you to come over. They're already telling you, where can we see? You need to swear. They're already telling you what they want, and you are not seeing it. Then you start saying, I thought he was a friend. He was never a friend. He was never a friend. He told you from the beginning what he wanted. Why does he reach out to you at those unholy hours of the night? Why is his talk always one kind, sweet voice, soothing? Why? And then a lot of people are just fooled. What pains me sincerely is not just that these things happen once, but it happens to you the first time, you don't learn. It happens to you the second time, you don't learn. It happens to you the third time, it happens again and again and again, and you don't learn. Come on. And then tomorrow you come out and start saying, man has come, relationship is, love is a scam, marriage is a scam. No. You did not pay attention. Let me not deviate too much. So when you see isolation and control, know that you are in an abusive relationship where you can't have a life anymore. You used to be better off, you used to be freer. Now you cannot. Somebody is just, every part of your life is regimented. It's almost like you need to take permission before you do something. Almost like you have to do that. And the day you don't take permission, the hammer comes on you. And you're wondering, am I a slave in this thing called love? Let me move on. There's a lot I could say in this. There's a lot. Now, part of the signs of isolation and control, okay, I've said some of this before. Now, your phone calls, your text messages, your emails, your gadgets are constantly being monitored, whether it's by the man or by the woman. It's one of the signs of control. They are monitoring your every conversation. Who is that? Who are you talking to? Let me see the person. Put it on speaker. Who else is there? I can hear voices on the background. Unnecessary. Someone said one time, no matter what you're doing, when I call you, you must answer my call. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you are. What kind of talk is that? I mean, there are going to be times where this person will not be able to answer your call. Why should you get angry? Are there not times where you cannot take this person's call and you expect them to understand, but you will never understand just because you believe that they're not taking your call, they're up to something ulterior? Why? Please, if you're experiencing any of these things, you're in an abusive relationship, or you're not having fun at all. No matter the money you're getting, no matter whatever fun you think you're getting, you're in an abusive relationship. Okay, you're not allowed to see family and friends. Haba. No, now. All right, so that was for the first one. I said was physical abuse. Next I said was isolation and control. The next is emotional abuse. Now, this is very subtle, because there are men who will tell you, no, I've never hit a woman before. I've never touched a woman in my life. but they will destroy your self-esteem. They will destroy your self-worth. They will destroy everything you represent. They will so destroy it that you cannot find your life anywhere except around them. Yeah, that's the idea. They destroy your worth so that the only validation you have in your life is what they say about you. This is so terrible. That's emotional abuse. So what they do is they target your insecurities. They target your vulnerabilities. They target your weaknesses, and they exploit them against you. You probably have shared certain things with them about your family, certain challenges, certain struggles. You shared certain things with them about a hurtful upbringing you had or a traumatic experience you had, and they use those things. They always wield it against you whenever they have the slightest chance. That's why you don't know anything now. Look at you. And you're wondering, hey, is it because I told you I failed, I had to repeat classes when I was in primary school? Is it because, and you want to just bring it up? Any of your weaknesses, any of the trauma, and any of the things that, any area you have been vulnerable to them, it becomes a tool for them to use to talk you down. And when they're talking you down, they make you feel like they are doing you a favor. They could have left you. There are other people out there. Who do you even think you are? Because I'm managing you. And I've said time and time again, nobody's doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you. No guy, no girl is doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you or by being friends with you. If they so think themselves that important, they should get lost. You can exist without them. You can thrive without them. All right? So, signs of emotional abuse. Your partner constantly devalues you. Whether in private or in public. Talks down on you, whether privately or in public. In some cases, in private and in public, they will embarrass you, always throw you under the bus, always talk about your weakness or your shortcomings. What are they doing? They're trying to weaken your emotional strength. They're trying to disempower you. So if you have a partner who is always speaking to you in ways that put you down, in ways that devalue you, that person is not a partner. That person is an assassin because it's going to destroy your life. You have to run away from that person. All right? So they diminish your beliefs. You tell them what your values are. You tell them what your beliefs are. And they just talk it down like you've not even woken up. You're not even in the 21st century. What are you saying? That's old school. I mean, who still talks like that? I can't remember the last time I heard that. Look at you. Let me upgrade your life, Joe. You don't even know. No. If they are coming hard against your value system, against your beliefs, and these are things that have worked for you, these are things that are upheld, on the word of God, on the wisdom of God, and they're trying to talk down on them, please, that person is not for you. That is an abusive tendency. That is emotional abuse. Okay? Another form of emotional abuse, some people don't know how to appreciate you. No matter the good you do, there's this, you didn't get that side. No matter how you try, you never get it right. No matter how you try. The time they will even want to appreciate you more, they'll tell you, is what I taught you now. I've taught you, that's why you're learning it now. You do something good, you put in your effort, you deliver excellently on that job, but they would never appreciate you. That is emotional abuse. Listen to me, if you're in a relationship with somebody who never appreciates you, no matter how hard you try, what that person is doing is trying to demoralize you and is trying to reduce your self-worth. It's emotional abuse. Some people can't just bring themselves to appreciating other people, especially their partners. Your partner is doing something. Your partner is succeeding. Instead of you to be proud of them and hail them, you start trying to compare their own success with yours. You start trying to compare their success with other people who are doing better. You start trying to show them other people who achieved it even earlier in their lives or who achieved more. What is wrong with you? Are you a killjoy? If you're experiencing that in your relationship, it's one of the signs of emotional abuse. It's not normal. So they withhold praise or appreciation. The partner is excessively jealous. Very soon I'll talk about insecurity, because jealousy is one of the signs, that shows under insecurity. Okay, excessively jealous. Always accusing you of infidelity. Always. What kind of wahala is that one? If you are in a relationship with somebody who is always accusing you of infidelity, please take it from me firsthand. That person is the one who is unfaithful. Yes, because you see the world from your own perspective. You see the world the way you are. If you cannot trust that somebody is keeping themselves, it's because you are not keeping yourself. If you cannot trust that somebody can have standards and keep to their values, it's because you don't have standards and you cannot keep to your values. So when you have a partner who is always accusing you that you are cheating, you are sleeping around, you have other affairs, that person is the one doing it. Take it from me authoritatively. All right? If they are not, then they should understand that somebody else can also have values and have principles. All right? This is another form of emotional abuse. I just remember this. Some people will harm themselves or pretend to harm themselves, to get you, to manipulate you into a particular action. So, for example, you hear things like, I really love you, I want to marry you. You say, no, I don't want to marry you. They say, no, you're the one I want. It has to be you. You say, no, I don't want. Then I say, if you don't marry me, I'll kill myself. If you don't accept this ring, oh my God, I'll take sniper. Listen, anybody that is behaving like that, if you're a girl or guy, and somebody is telling you that if you don't get in a relationship with them, they will kill themselves, or they will never marry again, or they will hurt themselves, please, the first thing you should do is not even accept that offering. That relationship, that marriage proposal, don't accept it. Report that person to the authorities, because they're not a threat to themselves and to other people. Some people will actually go and hurt themselves. Some people go and slit their wrist. People just do stupid things. Listen, that is emotional abuse. It is not love. It cannot be love. That same person that is hurting themselves because they want you, they will hurt you in the relationship. They will hurt you in the relationship. Someone says my situation right now. Oh, I didn't see when that point dropped. Which one was it? Was it this one about emotional abuse, or was it earlier? Okay, whichever way, if you want us to discuss after the session, please reach out. Yeah, Eddie says abusive relationships are a toxic cycle. Exactly. It just goes on and on and on. Next week, because my time is going very fast, next week we'll talk about why people stay. Because you're wondering, if he's behaving like this, why are you still there now? Why are you still? Don't worry, I will explain a few things and you'll understand why. That is part of the content of the abuse. Where you are unable to leave, when you know you should leave, but you can't leave. There's something that I will talk about why people stay. I'll talk about that next week, because I don't think I can get there today. Okay, so let me stop there on emotional. So you see, the thing is, there are so many points to give. I can't say everything. Even if we do 5-hour session, there are so many things to say. We can never finish these things. So anything I leave out, please, you can even be dropping for me in the comment section. All right. That's why you have to learn. You have to expose yourself to learning. Watch several videos, read several books, attend seminars. All right. There are many of these things that I cannot get into. So let me just touch them and move on very quickly. All right. Yeah. Someone says these are the issues of life. Yeah. So real issues. Okay. Yeah. The one who says your situation. He never believes you're loyal to him because he is not loyal to you. It's not because he caught you with anybody. It's because he is not loyal. He doesn't have it in himself to be loyal. So he doesn't believe you can be loyal. You say, what if no, it's not because of him, it's because of other people that have hurt him before, other people in his life. Listen to me. You see the world the way you are. Understand that and have peace. You see the world the way you are. If you are trustworthy, you will know how to trust people. If you are principled, you will know how to believe in other people's principles. All right? So, it's not you who is disloyal, it's the person who is disloyal, not you. All right? So, let me talk about verbal abuse. Oh my. Again, this is another tool people use. They say, no, I've never hit him, I've never hit her. But they will say such hurtful words that the person can almost go take a knife and take their own lives because of hurtful words. Some people don't understand that, words can be heavy. And especially guys. This is especially guys who don't understand this. Okay? Why? Because men are not generally moved by words. Men are generally moved by sight. Do you understand? They're visual people, what they see. A scriptural reference just came to mind. How that the Bible says that when God formed Eve and presented her to Adam and woke Adam up and said, see something, oh. The Bible says when Adam saw her, Adam began to prophesy. Inspiration came at once. Hey, he started dropping gems, started doing poetry. This one is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she came out from me. How did he know? Inspiration dropped at once because of what he saw. He saw something and everything just caught fire. All right? That's men. And then guess what? The first thing that the woman received from the man were words. Adam was describing her glory. He was saying, oh, this is wonderful. Oh my God, I'm going to love this one. I'm going to take care of you. You're so tender. Look at your skin. Oh my God. Those are the first thing that the woman heard. That is why till tomorrow, women will always be moved by what they hear. And when I say women, I'm speaking generally, please, before you people come for me. Hey, after all, my auntie is not moved by words. I'm not moved by words. Calm down. I'm speaking generally. All right? So generally, women are more moved by words. So guys don't understand this. So they will say things to you to really make you feel the way they want you to feel. I can't remember what session I was handling where I said this, or whether it was in private counseling sessions, where I was saying that if a guy and a girl are arguing, and the lady calls him, you're stupid, see your head, you're mad. In many cases, she doesn't mean those things she's saying. She doesn't really mean it. She is speaking from the instance of that anger, that irritation at that time. But if the man says, you are very stupid, there's nothing in this your coconut head. Listen, he means every bit of the words he's saying. Why? Because men are logical. He has analyzed your case. He has thought about this thing you're doing, the way you're behaving. Oh, you are a very big fool. So if he's saying that, he means it. And that is why you notice that the lady can say something to the guy returns exactly the same words to the lady, and then all hell will let loose. Oh, so you're saying I'm foolish. Oh, so you're saying I'm a big fool. Oh, I don't blame you. Oh, but you said I'm also a fool. I only said that you too, you're a fool. And why are you angry? Why? Because for her, those words hit differently. A lot of guys don't understand that. They think, for guys now, once the whole anger is over, guys can just tend to move on. Ladies don't move any on like that too. We will come back to that point and come and settle it. Yes, that's why they will drag you back. Now can you say everything's okay? Everything's not okay. How can you just sweep it under the carpet? No, you still have things to resolve. 2 weeks ago at 7:49 p.m. on Thursday, this is what you said. And the guy is wondering, now. Yes, because words hit them differently. All right? So I'm saying this because many times these abusers use words carelessly. Words that demean you. Words that make you feel like you're a failure, you're not important, you can't make it. They talk down on you, talk down on your effort. You're working on something, they won't believe in it, they won't show you support. All right? That's part of verbal abuse. They call you names. Oh my God. How do you say you love someone and you are very quick to call them names? Demoralizing names, insulting names. That is so unacceptable. All right? They belittle you in the presence of other people. That's part of verbal abuse. That is so wrong. All right. Let me move on. Okay, let me talk about economic abuse and sexual abuse very quickly. Now, economic abuse is where, the person tries to make you depend on them financially or economically. Okay. In some cases, they cut you off from your work. They tell you to resign your work. I'll take care of you. Don't worry. You don't need to do anything. I'll take care of you. All right. So you have to depend on the stipends or the monthly allowances they give you. All right. In some cases, there are people who have made sure they spoiled something in their partners. Maybe the partner is working on. They just put them in a bad light at work so that they lose that job. Okay. There's a question here. I'm going to answer this in it here. I'll answer it in just a moment. All right. So somebody tries to make sure you lose you're sanctioned at work, you're punished at work. Maybe they seize your ID card or they seize the car key so that you can't get to work early, or they call in with a report, trying to indict you. You just try to spoil things for you at work. That's very bad. That's part of economic abuse, because they're trying to make sure that that place where you're earning from, that they spoil something there for you. I remember a particular case where somebody had to be recalled to the office to face disciplinary panel because of a report his girlfriend leveled against him. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? You are there thinking that, oh, I'm meeting my deliverables, I'm doing so hard. Somebody will just cook one matter, set you up like this, and go and spoil things for you in the office. And you won't even know. Or the person will go to your office and create a scene. And they'll not be wondering, please, who is dating this madman or who is dating this mad woman? Then I say, it's you. And then, they just make life miserable for you. Or all your finances, all accounts are in the person's name. That's another one. All the investments are in the person's name. Nothing in your name. You don't have access to the accounts. You don't have access to anything. It's just what they give you, you receive. It's just what they tell you that is yours. That is also very wrong. All right. There are people who will tell you stuff like, no, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to stress yourself. No. The fact that you are a human being who is empowered, who is educated, please, you have something to give your world. Even if you're not educated, you have something to contribute to your world. The fact that you were born into this world, it means that there's an assignment for you. It means that God has something special for you. Do you understand that? So don't let anybody make you feel like, no, don't worry, just sit down at home. I'll make life comfortable for you. No, it's some form of control. It's some form of abuse. It's not love. Why? Because it's disempowering you. The day that person will treat you in a kind of way, all right, you discover that you cannot take any decision because you don't even have money. So you want to run away from somebody's house. You're saying, give me transport fare, let me escape from you. How will that happen? That's when you discover that you can't even call your friends and your sisters because they have made sure you clashed with all of them. They have spoiled the relationship, so you cannot even call them. Because when those ones were telling you, don't go, this boy, I don't trust him, or this girl, I don't trust her, you say it's a lie, I'm in love, you people don't know anything. So the person has destroyed that. When you're calling them, they won't pick your call. They say, we told you, we warned you. Okay? Those are part of economic abuse, where you are disempowered economically, and the person makes sure you have to depend on them. Let me talk about sexual abuse very quickly. In many cases, this is supposed to only apply in marriage, because typically it's only supposed to be in marriage and people are having sex. But unfortunately, people are having sex in relationships up and down these days. All right. So sexual abuse is an example of sexual abuse is where you're being coerced to indulge in any sexual act that you don't want, you don't like, you don't give your consent. I don't want to do. I said this relationship is no sex. The person said, okay. The next thing, the first day he visits your house, he's almost tearing your pants. Or she's using seduction to kill you that, in fact, if God does not help you, everywhere goes scatter that day. All right? That's sexual abuse. I don't want it. Don't force me. Don't manipulate me. Don't put me in a corner. Some people will come to your house. They tell you, no, it's just a short visit. Some ladies are guilty of this. They will come. They don't want to go again. They don't want to go again. Night is coming. They will not go. I remember one time I had to call somebody and say, hey, call me in the next 10 minutes. And then I was there sitting, and then my phone rang. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, really? Oh, I need to come now. Oh, it's already running late. Oh, okay. And I tell the lady, oh, please, I need to be somewhere right now. Oh, really? Yeah, let me wait for you. Wait for me what? No, I'm not coming back this night. I will spend the night today. How can you be waiting for me? Waiting for me for what? Do you understand? Some people just do that. It's part of sexual abuse. Because before you know it, they're trying to create the kind of ambience, the kind of environment where it will be harder for you to resist. Somebody is visiting you by 8 p.m. What time do you not want to leave now? Visiting you by 10 p.m. How? Why are you even opening your door for that kind of visitor? Somebody tells you, I want to see you. You gave them time to come by 3 p.m. Oh, they did not come. They not call you by 8:30. Are you still around? I'm just in the area. No. I'm not in the area again. I've left the area. I'm not open for visit at that time. All right? So some ladies visit you. They not forget something. Then tomorrow they call you, hey, I forgot my umbrella. I'm coming to pick it. That to come in to pick it, they will not come till 8:30 p.m. Hey, let me just spend the night. First thing tomorrow, I'll leave. Don't worry. This time, they will forget handbag. What kind of things are those ones? You see, now, these are certain behaviors that before you know it, you are finding yourself in a tight corner. I say I don't want to do, but lead us not into temptation. Now, temptation has landed in front of you, and you are there saying, oh God, help me. After today, I go try make I not do them again. Now, listen to me. All right, if you're being coerced into sexual acts that you don't want to do, it's some form of sexual abuse. If you're being forced to do it, it's sexual abuse. If you're being harmed in the course of intimacy, it is sexual abuse. All right. If you're not allowed to, maybe for people who are married and the woman is trying to say, no, we just had a baby, I don't have a baby. Now the guy said, no way, you must, yeah, come on, stop that. Come on. That's sexual abuse. You need to be understanding. You need to be sensitive. You're not the one who's going to carry that baby. You're not the one whose body is going to go through all those changes. You're not the one whose work is affected. All you just care is, I want to do now and I don't bloody care. No, my guy. All right. Show maturity. Show understanding. Okay. So if the person is insisting, no way, you can't take birth control, or you must, I want another baby now. Come on. That is part of sexual abuse. Or maybe it's the lady telling the man, no, man, I must be pregnant now. I must be pregnant. Oh, God say, calm down now. We don't have the money to take care of baby. Say, no way. All my friends are laughing at me. They're looking at my stomach. They look at my, I must carry belly. And the guy no one wants to. It is part of sexual abuse if you don't know. Let me stop there. Of course, there are obvious ones like rape and stuff like that. Okay. Infidelity is another form of sexual abuse. All right. My good God Almighty. Okay, let me take this question before I just keep talking. Justin Etier is asking, is it possible for a Christian that walks with God to fall prey to abusive relationship? Now, see, you have put a qualification to the Christian there. Is it possible for a Christian that walks with God to fall prey to abusive relationship? My first answer is that if the Christian walks with God properly, you should be guarded from this kind of mistakes. Now, let me explain what I mean by walks with God properly. You are committed to the standards, to the principles, to the wisdom of God, to the Word of God. All right? And in being committed to the Word of God, right, take note that it impacts on your life. It impacts on your choices. It impacts on your principles. It impacts on your values. All right? If you are such a person, it will be difficult to fall prey. Why? Because you have a walk with God. You will get the nudgings in your spirit. You would not feel easy about it. And you might not even find a reason. You just know that I want to continue with this relationship, but something is drawing me back. Sometimes it's the Spirit of God withholding you from getting into mistake. Okay, so if you have an active walk with God, yeah, you will get the promptings not to do certain things. But what you need to know is that God will never override your decision or your will. It's left for you to decide to not do certain things. So there are cases where people walk with God, they hear from God, they talk with God. In fact, they talk with God as man talking with a friend, But yet, in certain areas, their minds are made up. In this matter, Lord, leave me alone. I like her. I must follow her anywhere she goeth. God will not stop you now. If you go and carry yourself and enter inside that kind of one chance, what you see is what you get. It's not God you will blame. Do you understand? So yes, it is possible that someone who's working with God will not fall prey because their spirits are alert to the promptings of the Holy Spirit, and his leading and his guidance, okay? And also because they are committed to learning. So they are learning, they are hearing, they are seeing the signs, okay? They are learning. But it's also possible that despite all of this, somebody's heart is drawn in a particular direction. Don't forget what the Bible says about temptation, that every man is tempted when he is drawn of his own lusts. Do you understand? So sometimes people have their own problems. Yes, they are serving God, though. Yes, everything is fine spiritually. But there's an area of their life where they are just lusting after this thing and they want to go after it at all costs, even if the Spirit of God is telling them, no. They say, God, wait first. Let me go. For anything that happens, I know that at least I enjoy this one. And then they get in. If the person is like that, God will not stop you. He will not hold your leg. You will go, and then if you come back, He's a merciful Father. He will receive you. He will comfort you. But you will experience hurt if you get into that abusive relationship. So it's not just about your spiritual state. It's also about how you are, committed to learning, so that you are aware. You know the red flags. You know what to look out for. And it's also about your decisions. Okay. So many times, I tell people, the day you are going to that person's house that you people will have sex, it is going to happen today. Yeah, you want it. In many cases, I'm talking about consensual ones now. It will happen. It's not, I wanted to just pick up my textbook. When I got there, and now, before I know, it's a super story. You know in your heart that this boy likes you and you like him back. You know it. And the Spirit of God is telling you, don't go. He's telling you, don't go alone. But you choose the time when your friends have left you so that you can quickly sneak. In fact, you discharge other people that are with you so that you can quickly sneak. In fact, you have privately been chatting to say, okay, what time is good? Is your younger one around? Oh, you're the only one around on Thursday. Okay, I will come around on Thursday. And what time works? You have arranged everything. You know exactly what will happen. Then you now go and it's when they happen. I say, I did not know. God help me. You knew. So, point is, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Yeah. Let me move on. So yes, you can be a Christian. In fact, you know one passage I like to quote a lot, Proverbs chapter 19 verse 3, where it says that a man's own foolishness ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. Meanwhile, it was your decision, it was your mumu behavior, it was your indiscipline. You went ahead to do things you're not supposed to do. Then you start crying, oh God, why me? God, why me? Oh, help me. Show your mercy, show love. How did they pray those prayers? But it was your own foolishness. Proverbs 19:3. Somebody wants to check it out. Check it out in different versions. All right, so let me move on very quickly. I might not explain these points because of time. I'll just touch them as fast as I can, and then I'll move on. I'll end it for today. Okay, I was going to talk about why emotional abuse. What are the causes? Okay, and there are 6 major things I'll speak to here. I might not have the time to speak to them. Let me try. The first one, excuse me. The first one is childhood trauma. Excuse me. Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma can be a major reason people become abusive. I'll explain that in just a moment. Experiencing or witnessing domestic abuse at home. I shared the statistics with you that boys who were exposed to domestic violence at home are 2 times more likely to abuse their partners and to be abusive adults. All right? So, why? Because watching those things from childhood, it's a subconscious programming. Somewhere in your heart, you're learning that this is how to treat the opposite gender. This is how to behave when you are angry. This is how to behave when people don't tell you things that you like. This is how, you're subconsciously being programmed to accept that behavior as the norm. And unfortunately, many times people don't even know this until they've gone so far in it and they think this is just me. No, this is not just you. What you think is just you is an external influence that you did not know when it was coming upon you. All right? So childhood trauma, witnessing domestic abuse at home, cultural beliefs. There are some cultural beliefs that tell you that one gender is superior to another one. That tell you that when the men are talking, the women should be at the back of the house. I have my visitors and the only thing you should do is come and serve us food and get out of here. Men are talking. Can you imagine how people treat their wives? What will shock you is that in this age and time, there are still men with this belief. In this age and time, there are still guys, let me not say men because you say they are of another dispensation or generation. There are young boys who still believe that the only role of a woman is in the kitchen and in the other room. Young people who think like that. That's cultural belief. That's a cultural limitation. So imagine such a person getting married to a lady who is ambitious, or getting attracted to a lady dating a girl who is very ambitious, who wants to go all out, who wants to explore the world. Imagine what that kind of guy would do to her. He would scatter her dreams. He would kill her ideas. How dare you? Some guys will tell you from the beginning, I hope you know when I get married to you, you will quit that job. All these ones you are doing, you are pursuing your dream, but you will quit it. Some people will tell you. It's very strong. It's a very strong influence. Cultural beliefs. They tell you women are not supposed to rise to the top. Women are not supposed to. Women are not supposed to. Women are not supposed to. Men are supposed to. Some of those things are limitations, and it forms the way people think. It forms the way they take decisions towards their partners, which is so wrong. All right. What about those who believe that education is not for female. It's for only men. The ladies should go and learn how to cook and how to run the home. That's so wrong. All right. Let me read something to you. Research suggests that much of domestic violence behavior is learned. For example, children who witness domestic abuse may grow up thinking that physical or psychological violence are acceptable ways to relate with people generally, with a spouse, or acceptable ways to resolve conflict. Why? Because of that subconscious programming I spoke about. All right. I mentioned childhood trauma before. Now, trauma is a big term. You know, sometimes it's like, what exactly are you talking about when you say trauma? Trauma basically refers to any significant emotional experience, you know, that was distressing to you as a child. So I'm talking about childhood trauma, whatever it was, whether it was maybe an accident, you know, an assault, physical violence, sexual abuse, a natural disaster, a loss of a loved one, you know, some of those things, anything that so significantly distressed you emotionally. It's an example of childhood traumas. And what happens is that many people don't know that they grow up into adulthood still carrying on the scars from some of those traumas. And it affects how they relate with other people. All right? That is why we talk about seeing a counselor, seeing a therapist, because sometimes some people don't even know what their real problem is. Sometimes you have sessions with people and you discover that they are still stuck in an incident of 9 years old, when they were 9 years old, an incident of 41 years ago, an incident of 30 years ago, an incident of 25 years ago. They are still stuck. It's still affecting them now. You see? So that's an example of childhood trauma. All right? Abandonment. Your parents were not there for you. They left you at a very young age. You had to fend for yourself. You had to fight your way through life. You were abused, you know, tortured, you know, all kinds of terrible experiences. Those are examples of trauma. All right. Let me talk about this point. Failed parenting. Failed parenting is one reason why people grow up to be abusers. Because if you have parents that know how to give you auto-correct, auto-reset when you misbehave, there are some bad behavior you will drop. But you see all those children that anything they want, they get. Nobody ever tells them no in their life. They will grow up thinking that that's how the world is. I should always get anything I want. Nobody can stop me. Nobody should tell me no. Okay, so when you see children like that, they grow up to become spoiled brats. They grow up to become abusive. Because by the time they see any form of opposition or anything that is not the way they want it, that does not suit, you know, what they want at that time, they fight and attack that person and they fight that thing. So I say that is a result of failed parenting, because your parents should have taught you that in this life you must not get everything you want when you want it. There's a time for everything. They must have taught you to respect other people, respect their values, respect their decisions. All right, they must have taught you that there's such a thing as honor, there's such a thing as integrity. But guess what? Many parents don't teach values to their children. All they do is send them to school and feed them, and they don't even raise them up. That's why the Bible speaks in Proverbs 22 verse 6. It says, raise up a child, train up a child in the way he should go. There is such a thing as the way a child should be brought up. All right, if you don't bring up the child like that, what does the Bible say? It says that foolishness is stored in the heart of a child, but it's the rod of correction that will drive it far. You see, so by default, children come out selfish, come out self-centered, come out foolish if you don't instruct them aright. Such children will grow up to become a menace in society. They will grow up to become abusers because they will not value or respect any other person except themselves. Those are the narcissists we spoke about last month. All right, so failed parenting is one reason why we have a lot of badly behaved people out there. Because no authority figure in their life as children laid the right foundation. Their parents didn't lay the right foundation. Their guardians didn't lay the right foundation. They didn't teach them. They didn't scold them. They didn't punish them. They didn't raise them in the way they should go. And then they grew up to just become problematic. Let me round up with the next 2 points. Psychological factors. Psychological factors are broad. Under psychological factors, that's where I'll talk about low self-esteem. That's why I'll talk about personality disorders. That's why I'll talk about jealousy, insecurity, lack of confidence, perfectionism, because that's some other people's problem. Everything must be accurate, must be 100%. All right? Sometimes that now makes people abusive because they never see the good in what another person does, simply because it never hits your 100% mark. Okay, sometimes some of those things are psychological. Anxiety, fear is psychological. Okay, the final point I'll talk about is substance use. Some people abuse people because they are under an influence. Okay, now take note, it's not that substance that makes them abusive, but that substance kills their inhibitions and they go ahead and express that abusive tendency or behavior. On a normal day, if they think about it, they can do it, but they might not be bold enough to do it. So when they take substance, it helps them kill their inhibitions. They have no fears, no holds back anymore, and they go all out and do what they want to do. All right. In fact, it's even shameful that some people have to take substances to get high so that they can ask a lady out. It's quite shameful. If you're a lady, a guy is toasting you and you're smelling drink or cigar from his mouth and you're feeling cool, somebody says I'm beautiful. Can't you see that something's already wrong? You're already setting up yourself for an abusive relationship. Because this person is under an influence. He has to take something to have the boldness to talk to you. He's talking to you, his eyes are falling like this, you're seeing red eyes, and you think you're in safe hands? No. Because he doesn't have the confidence to talk to you, he will always need that influence anytime he wants to relate with you. So, when he's angry with you, he'll go take something so that he can shout at you to exert his physical strength, and then before you know, it just becomes a physically abusive relationship. Okay, please let me stop here for now because our time is fast spent. Our time is fast spent. I hope it's been valuable to you. I hope you picked up one or two things. By God's grace, next week I will close this conversation up. I'll talk about why people stay. Because a lot of people say, the husband was abusing her. Why didn't she leave? Why didn't she leave? I'll talk about that. Okay. And then I'll also show people how to go out, how to live such relationships. If you're already married. Now, you see, I tailor my conversations towards singles. All right. That's a Single and Ready Club. If you're already married and you're listening to some of these things and you're in a situation where you want us to talk about it, please reach out to me, because many times some of the things I say, the approach will be different when you're already inside marriage. All right, especially when you're believers. All right, there's a lot more that we need to do with you. It's not what I will talk about in these sessions. So if you're a married person listening to me and you find yourself in an abusive relationship or you're married to a narcissist, all right, please reach out. Let us talk. Let's have sessions. Okay, let's have sessions. Even if you have to pay for it, feel free to do that. All right, because you need to set yourself free. You owe it to yourself to set yourself free from anything that is a limitation in your life. All right, so let me stop there for now. God bless you guys.